Hey, and welcome to another edition of Crush and Climb. I'm Jason McClain, and I'm thrilled today to kind of take you into a new place, a very exciting new place. And we're actually going to go back in time. I mean, we have our own proverbial time machine right here in front of us, and I'm going to roll things back. Now, one of the really cool things is if we want to go way back in time, years ago, we're talking about 10 plus years ago, I had a TV show on Amazon Prime called Life Can Change, and I had the most amazing people come through on that show. We had a live studio audience. We recorded it live every single episode, and I had a parade of awesome people coming through the show. And it was at a crossroads for me. It was at a point where I decided to say I had two options. One was to go ahead and take the show to the next level. We had an offer from taking that show from where it was to a larger opportunity, which would go on to one of the major networks, which was very exciting to do. I decided at that moment that the answer was not for me. I made a left turn, and we often do that when we want to pivot into something new. We make a left turn into our lives when we're in a place where we just don't know if what we're doing is our true, authentic self, our true person that we've always wanted to become. I mean, think back when you were young. Go back in time for a moment and think to yourself, what is it that would make my 8-year-old self cry if they saw what I was doing today? We don't use a lot of time these days to figure out what's really important to us. What do we really want to do? And I believe that everything we want to accomplish, every opportunity, every detail has its own perfect timing. And today, I'm going to tell you about my world at that time. We're going to go back into it a little bit, but more importantly, you're going to go there with me. We're going to go back in time like H.G. Wells and his time machine. And you're going to see a show I put together that I'm proud of. It's a well-done show, but more importantly, it's got great content and great information. So I quit that world. I quit that show to do one thing, open the wine business, literally get into McClain Cellars and start making wine because I thought that was the best way for me to connect. Well, time's going on. It's been 10 years. And so now here we are on Crush and Climb, having fun, talking about very similar subject matters. So I'm going to take you back in time. But before I do that, I want to do one thing we always do on Crush and Climb, which is bring honor and homage to the amazing nectar of the gods, the wine that literally makes everything that we do here fantastic and amazing. So in front of me, my friends, I'm actually going with a sparkling rosé. That's right, a brand new wine, a sparkling rosé, and it's called Dreamkeeper. So it's right here in front of us here on the table. Take a look at that. So Dreamkeeper is a beautiful sparkling rosé. It's got a touch of Chardonnay, a touch of Pinot Noir, and it's absolutely second to none, a nice, vibrant bubble. It's one of McClain Cellars' top-selling sparkling wines, let alone top-selling bottle of wine. And it's fantastic. It's a fan favorite for my wife, fan favorite for me, and it's called Dreamkeeper for a very, very important reason. Because, you know, a lot of times we have a moment in time where we have our greatest dream. You know, I used to go, I remember years ago as I was growing up and going to church one day, the pastor said to us one day, once you've dreamed your greatest dream, God's got something better. And I've always believed that deeply in my heart. And Dreamkeeper kind of embodies that ability to hold on to what's important. And that is going to take you into my guest today. And my guest today, his name is Bill Mitchell. Bill Mitchell is a former New York Giants football player. That's right. He went to the big time, and he's got one of the coolest stories. It's a story of being one of the very few people who actually is a walk-on to a National Football League. Most people, if you're trying out to go into a major sport or you're going to go into the NFL or NBA, you don't just walk on the court. You don't walk on the field. You have an agent. You've got a process. You've got a plan. But Bill, coming out of Syracuse University in New York, had an amazing skill, an amazing ability, and he also had a dream that would never die, would never go away. And he has one of the few people on the planet Earth who actually successfully made the team on the New York Giants years ago and started his entire life as a part of the National Football League. Now, Bill has gone on since that day and become not only a very dear friend, but He also stood with me in my wedding to my wife, Sophia. That's right. He was literally one of the guys who stood with me, my brother, my other dear friends. But Bill Mitchell was one of the guys who stood with me when I said I do to my wife. And he's a dear, dear, amazing man. Great friend. And I can tell you, salt of the earth. So I'm going to take you now today as we raise our wonderful glass of Dreamkeeper, this amazing sparkling rosé. And we're going to go back in time. We're going to go back 10 years, and you're going to hear me on the set of Life Can Change with the amazing Bill Mitchell himself. And you're going to watch a story unfold about adversity, about change, and about holding true to your dreams. What would life look like if you held on to the thing you always wanted to do? You held tight to the idea that tomorrow the sun will rise, and no matter what it takes, you, too, can accomplish your greatest dream if you don't quit, if you don't give up, and you keep going forward. So, like Dreamkeeper is, so is Billy. And he's a great man, a good friend. So, I'm going to take you back there on this edition of Crush and Climb, and we're going to bring back the coolness of what it's like to sit down in studio with an amazing man that will tell you a story. And I can promise you one thing. When you get done watching the story, you hear what he has to say, you will truly realize that dreams come true and there's nothing you can't accomplish. So let's crush and climb. Let's go back in time and let us raise a glass to the dreamers of the world, because that's you, that's me. We never quit. We never surrender. Introducing Bill Mitchell, New York Giants, awesome story, and a good friend. Let's rock and roll, my friends. Cheers. Hi, and welcome to Life Can Change. I'm Jason McClain. What would life look like if you had the most amazing physical abilities? You could bench press 475 pounds, and you had a dream of joining the National Football League. But no matter what door you knocked on, no matter what you had the ability to do, you could not get on a team. Well, my guest today has overcome amazing odds to turn his life from where it used to be to where it is today. His story will amaze you, inspire you, and show you a new path forward for your life. Stay tuned, and we'll show you how your life can change. Hi, I'm Jason McClain. You know, life throws us all kind of barriers and all kind of difficulties. Honestly, I believe it tests us with stress before it allows us to achieve success. So if you're going through a problem right now, a difficulty this day, remember these 3 things to get to the other side. Number 1, the problem you're experiencing is 100% temporary. This too shall pass. Number 2, you're not an island. Get as many eyes as you can on the problem. You'll find a solution. Number 3, the thing you're going through right now, the time, the season, is designed to give you the skills and the ability to teach someone else in the future. Listen, life is designed to give you a curveball every second of every day. When you're in a crisis, slow down. Don't be impulsive. It's more important to make the right choices than it is to just make a choice, my friends. Your life can be different. It can change. This situation, it'll get better. I promise. All right, well, welcome. My guest today is Bill Mitchell. Bill, you used to play for the New York Giants, but before you got down that road, you had a story that I was telling you a moment ago about a guy who literally had all the physical abilities. I mean, listen, bench pressing 475 pounds, that's like a Buick or two, isn't it? Like, it's crazy.
At least, right?
Exactly, at least. How did you get onto a team?
Well, one of the most disappointing things was graduating from Syracuse University. I thought I was going to be a periodontist, okay? But that dream did not happen.
A little bit different than an
That's
NFL
right.
player.
A little
Yes,
bit
yes.
different.
You can
But
fix
I had
teeth
a
on the
dream.
field.
I had a dream my entire life that I wanted to play professional football. Never had anyone to truly inspire me to do that. But I knew within me I could make that happen. Growing up in the South Bronx with a single mother raising 5 kids, only trying to put food on the table. So we had no one to inspire us. But yet, we had the local neighborhood. That's where we learned all of our skills. That's where we learned to be great, because there were many obstacles there on a daily basis just trying to eat. So we had those type of challenges. Those were the real challenges. But yet, going off to Syracuse University, playing football, I was a bio major there, and here it is, I'm ready to go into the NFL.
So you've been working hard now. You're at school.
Constantly.
You're at school, you're working hard, you're studying hard every single day, your family supporting you 100%?
No.
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 Wow.
Oh, that was a dream. That was a dream. You forgot one other obstacle. Here I am, 17 years old, a freshman at Syracuse University. Not only was I working, which I wasn't supposed to, playing football, practicing, studying, and I had a little baby girl.
No. Wow.
Okay?
So that's a big decision.
That's right.
So you're facing the idea of that you're a dad,
That's right.
a new dad.
That's right.
You're studying really hard.
Absolutely.
You don't have the support of your family.
No.
And you're literally trying to achieve a dream.
That's right.
So what right do you have to fulfill your dreams?
I had a little baby that needed me, understanding that I needed to be great for someone else. I needed to set a foundation that I know that she would be able to stand on, and we can build that. That was one of the most important things. So here I am realizing that now I'm ready to go off and be a professional football player. That's what my dream was. That's what I wanted to do.
Right.
Every door I knocked on, I kept hearing no. So I got a little smart. I said, you know what, let me phone a guy named Steve Serby. He was a sports writer for the New York Post. And what he did for me, he gave me inside numbers directly to player personnel. Got in contact with the New York Jets. We're not interested in defensive backs. Okay, great. Next. So I didn't stop there. And there was a gentleman there. His name was Ed Kroke. He was the player personnel for the New York Giants. And at this time, we didn't have videotapes or CDs or digital. We had reels.
Right.
So we had those. And he said, look, kid, I'm going to be in the city, talking about Manhattan. And he said, you know what? I'll stop by. Let me see your reel. And if I like it, I'll give you a call. So now here I am trying to walk on to a professional football team. Ed Kroke calls me back in about 2 weeks.
Wow.
And during that time, it was painstaking. I mean, I would say, call me. Why are you not phoning me?
Yeah.
So 2 weeks, get a phone call. He said, kid, come out. I said, great. Love it. I'm already there. I'll be there immediately. So here we are now. I'm wearing a New York Giant uniform.
Good job. That's tenacity.
That is.
That's tenacity.
That is.
Can you imagine? I don't know if you guys can imagine whatsoever what it's like to sit there and say, I'm going to do whatever it takes. You're doing this for your dream.
Absolutely.
You're doing it for your little baby, and you are pushing every obstacle out your way. It's kind of like you're a bulldozer going across. Now, what is it keeping your mind going? What is the one thing that's consistently rehearsing over and over while you're waiting for that phone to ring, while you're waiting to find out if the investment you just made in your time and your effort and your ability literally would bring about fruit? What's going through your mind?
I can't fail. I can't fail. I want to win. I want to be on top of this. I want to be the best.
Yeah, that's good.
Nothing short of wanting to live that dream.
Yeah.
That boyhood dream, this thing that I saw in my mind as a 5-year-old. Literally. My mother would come to me and say, what are you going to be when you grow up? I said, I'm going to be a football player.
That's great.
I knew what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I had an opportunity to do that. And from there, you're building on the strength of what you were taught. Football is like life. That's all it is. It prepares you. It structures you. It lays you on a foundation and let you say to yourself, yes, you can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you are your only shortcoming.
Yeah.
There are no obstacles.
None.
Imagine here, let me give you an example.
Sure.
Imagine being because when I was at Syracuse University, I was only 160 pounds. But yet you have a running back coming out the backfield, and he's 6'5". He's 260 pounds. What are you going to do? You have to stop him. Okay?
I'm going to go call a taxi.
You have no choice. But as in life, you can cheat. Because we're taught as defensive back, outside pressure in. So I know I have a team that's there to support me if I can only drive him on the inside. So you learn, practice. And it's the same thing that we need to do on a daily basis. When we get up in the morning, we're practicing. We're practicing to be successful. We're practicing to move forward. So everyone needs to understand that you too go through a practice each and every day.
Yeah.
And the more you practice, the better you get at it, the easier it is. Yeah. But one of the most important things I found out, yet you're there with other professionals, there's some professionals you want to get away from because you want to be with the best. You want to train with the best. Just like Jerry Rice. There are players today that still want to train with him.
Yeah.
Because he did it right each and every day. He did not fail himself on a daily basis because you practice. The way you practice is the way you perform in a game, just like life. The way you practice in life, that's how you're going to perform out there. So when you cheat yourself, you're going to cheat yourself out there.
So tell me, what do you practice every single day? I mean, you've got a great story. I love what you've done. I understand what you've accomplished. You're no longer playing professional football,
That's right.
Correct? So if you have to look back, and the one thing you've learned during this challenge, during your obstacle, during that season, that became a ritual to practice every single day to give you the power, because everybody here has one question probably for you. The biggest question is, how do you get your power back when you're facing an unstoppable odd, when you're literally sitting out there on the field, and as you just mentioned, you got a 100-pound difference between one guy and another. How do you get your power back? How do you get that? What's the practice that you do every single day?
I tell you, one of the things that I do every day, if we're talking about current, is that I'm up before the birds. That's one of the things that I do. I'm simply up early. I have my itinerary ready, prepared for what I'm going to do on a day-to-day basis. And I cannot hear no. That's one of the things. When someone says no, they're saying no at the moment. That's the way that I've always felt. And I keep pushing forward. Because look, when you have your back against the wall, what do you have to lose?
Right.
You have nothing. So what do? You let go. You simply let go. Yeah. And sometimes you have to follow that natural curvature of life. So that's one of the things that I do. And then once I realize that now that natural curvature are one with me, now I can look within myself. And to be honest, I do a lot of praying.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
So that's one of the things that I try to do. I don't want to hear no. I want to be persistent, but I do the same things every day. But I make certain that I surround myself with healthy people, with healthy behaviors. That's what's important.
Very good. You know, Bill, I've seen time and time again, people have a dream, they get started, they begin, and life turns us left. How many of us have all found ourselves trying to accomplish some task in life, trying to build a company, trying to start something, and then a circumstance,
right?
Maybe it's a child, maybe it's financial, maybe it's an illness, turns you off. I mean, it literally turns you the direction. I mean, there's only 24 hours in a day, right? And the biggest question I know a lot of people will be asking, and I want to ask you this question and get your take on it, is what do you do when you've got to pay the rent, you've got to pay the bills, you've got to make this decision, you've got to make that decision, you've got to take care of your child, you've got to do something that's a responsibility which conflicts with your dream? What do you do when the responsibility of life conflicts with your dream? Is that not a good question? What do you think, Bill?
Wow. Wow, that's big. That's big. Because you have so many different things going on there. You still want to fulfill your desires and the things that you want, but yet you have that responsibility of family.
Right.
So you have to make all of that work. First, you got to be honest with yourself. And you must look for those people who can help you, because you cannot do this thing by yourself. It still takes a neighborhood, a country, a nation.
Yeah.
It really does. You can't do it by yourself.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
You know, I tell you, I've been teaching and speaking for a long time, trying to tell people that it's okay. It's okay. But the way you let your dream die, I've always found this to be the case. And you let me know if you agree. The way you let your dream die is to stop feeding it.
Absolutely.
Is to stop feeding it.
That's right.
And you know, it's funny, when you've got obstacles, when you've got challenges, when you've got difficulties that face you, I mean, honestly, I wake up sometimes when I don't want to go do what I have to do, but I always have that dream. I always have that one opportunity, that one thing that says, I have a right to be better than I am today. I have a right to do something more. I have a right to do this one. So even though you got to go to work every single day, even though you got to go and do a job every single day, take an hour of that day and focus on your dream. Your dream will die unless you feed it. Like any other thing that's alive, it will die unless you feed it.
Absolutely. I agree with that.
Well, Bill, thank you so very much for joining me today and for just giving us your story. I mean, it's a true pleasure and an honor every single time when I get to sit next to a man or a woman or an individual or a child, whoever it is, who can make me take a second, pause, and say, it's not that bad. Whatever's happening right now in my life, it can change. It can turn around. And you're a true inspiration for that. Bill, thank you so much.
Thank you. Cheers. Good, man. You're good.
That's it for this edition, for this episode here at Life Can Change. And I can tell you one simple truth. Never let your dream die. Never give up and never surrender on what you were called to do. You can make it if you try. You can change everything about your life, no matter what you're going through, financially, emotionally, relationally, or health-wise. Life can change. It's up to you to start the path. Good night.
Thank you for joining entrepreneur, author, speaker, and winery owner, Jason McClain, on the Crush and Climb podcast. Here, we hammer raw experience into wisdom, helping you not just bounce back, but bounce forward with new strength. To continue the journey and build a life that's not just successful, but significant, subscribe to Crush and Climb wherever you get your podcasts. Let's raise a glass to the journey.